Hello again, everybody. This is Scott at Comic Book Hangover with another weekly haul video. Before I get started, I want to thank everybody who has been checking out my videos and sharing them. It's been great. I love the support. I greatly appreciate it. So if you are new and this is your first video, just go ahead and feel free to click like, subscribe, share the video, comment down below, do all that good fun stuff, because every week I like to talk about my new comic books and always like to get into conversations with other people who like to talk about comic books. I mean, in this crazy time we live in, hey, comic books are a great escape for everything that we're going through right now. So that aside, let's talk about some of the books that I picked up last week. It was kind of a mixed bag. Some good stuff, some interesting stuff, and some stuff that I'm probably in the minority of and not liking at all. So real quickly, we're going to talk about Batman 104. Really, there's nothing more that I can say about this book that I haven't already said. I'm really enjoying this run of Batman. I know I think this might be the last issue, or maybe I'm getting 105. Then DC is doing this whole future shock thing, or whatever the heck they're calling it, where they're going to put all their good books on hiatus for 2 months and sort of parade out some books with new characters that are probably going to be forgotten in a couple of months, but whatever. Some of them will stick around. I mean, some of them are going to be huge hits. I have no doubts about that. There's going to be some that are going to be absolutely huge hits, sort of like when they did the Edge of the Spider-Verse books years ago when Spider-Gwen came out. Sure, they really weren't expecting too much out of that character, but look where she is now. So it's always cool to have new characters, as long as they're done right. So I'm going to skip over it. I've looked at all the books, and there's really nothing there that's going to be interesting to me at all. So I'm going to be enjoying my Batman books until Future Shock, or whatever it's called, and we'll take a 2-month hiatus and then come back to Batman and enjoy it from there. But this series is getting to be really interesting because of Clown Hunter. This chap right here, he has it in for Harley Quinn, or as I like to refer to her, Hot Topic Harley. So I'm not a big fan of her anymore, especially this new this current iteration of the character. I'm not too big on her, but as long as he's trying to kill her, that keeps her entertaining. It kind of keeps her on her toes, and she's trying to be good now. She has sort of seen the error of her ways, and she's trying to make amends for it. But as always, when you have somebody who is in the habit of being the type of person she is, when she's trying to be good, things get kind of interesting, and Clown Hunter's not making it easy for her, and he's really becoming a really cool character. I'm hoping that we will get a Clown Hunter versus Damian, either a fight or just a confrontation of some kind, because he's a really cool character. He's actually kind of become, sorry about that, kind of become a bigger favorite of mine in this run here than Punchline has. I like his look, I like his style, I like that he's still around. The next one, okay, Fantastic Four Road Trip. The squishy cover that I picked up, because it was, out of all of them, this was the grossest one to me. So the Fantastic Four and Alicia, they're on vacation with the kids. They supposed to go to this cabin, and of course, Reed finds out that some meteor or whatever has dropped, and he wants to go check it out. He notices some things different about the soil, so he takes some samples back to the cabin, and hilarity ensues. Actually, grossness ensues. So it starts to break down the DNA of the Fantastic Four and makes them lose control of their powers. So, like Johnny Storm, he can still become the Human Torch, but he feels the fire. The Invisible Woman is losing her ability to keep herself visible. So parts of her starts to disappear at random times. So sometimes you could just see like holes in her, and that's kind of gross. Franklin loses control of his reality-altering powers. Reed just kind of becomes some gloopy mass. Ben, you can see he actually, as the series progresses, he's like peeling off these chunks of rocks. Probably the grossest one is when he gets back to the cabin, a big piece on his chest comes off, and he peels them off like we would do a scab. It's kind of gross. But one thing leads to another, and they discover what's going on. It comes down to the kids is saving them, and it's the Mad Thinker. Is kind of a letdown of a villain, but he is the whole one that set the whole thing up. And I mean, overall, it's a good read. The end is a bit of a letdown, the whole thing with the Mad Thinker, but it's an interesting look at how Reed and the family would react if they were going to lose control of their powers, and them pulling together and just figuring this out and figuring out whose abilities are able to do what, even though they're losing control of them. So it was a good read. It was a really good read. Kind of gross, but it's a one-shot, so it's definitely worth checking out. And also from Marvel, Thor number 10. Getting better. As I've said before, I mean, I've basically enjoyed Donny Cates' run on this book, but his whole Black Winter thing, I just did not like him rewriting the origin of Galactus to get his character to fit. Something that Donny Cates seems to do a lot, where he'll create a new character and he'll push it as if it's some big baddie or, you know, some awesome character. But in order for him to fit into the Marvel Universe, he has to rewrite the history of the Marvel Universe to get his character to fit. Which means that these characters are not organic creations. They're sort of shoehorned into our continuity, and we're expected to just blindly love and enjoy these characters. So I did not like Black Winter. It's kind of a dumb character to me. This run here, though, we have Don Blake. As I've said in my last one, we find out where he's been all these years, since he used to be, you know, Thor and Don Blake would switch places. So he's gone quite insane, and he's come into some insane amount of power. And he is hell-bent and bound and determined to destroy Asgard and destroy everything that Thor stands for, loves, and represents. And he actually seems to be doing a very good job of it. So we're 10 issues in, and we finally got some stuff that I'm excited about. I really want to check out the next issue of this run. So if you're not checking out Thor and you just want a good Thor story, this one here, what's it called? Prey. We're only 2 issues into it. Definitely check it out. It's worth it. I grabbed a couple of first issues last week. I'm going to go through these kind of quickly. Knock 'em Dead, number 1. This is from Aftershock Comics. I don't think I've ever read any Aftershock books before. But this is about a guy who is wanting to be a stand-up comedian, and he's not very good at it. Through a series of events, we find out that he lives with a sister. He's kind of a loser, but he is trying. So he's not a complete basket case. At the end of the issue, he's with this dude who claims to want to help him out, wind up getting into a car accident. The dude dies. The driver dies. Our comedian main character, whose name I forgot, ends up in the hospital. They're trying to keep him alive, but he's already dead. So I guess what happens is he dies, comes back, and has a demon or a ghost or something with him, inside him, who's going to help him become a better comedian. So it has some potential. I'm going to check out the second issue for it. I did really like this cover. I really like this cover. So I'm going to check out the second issue of it. Figure, what the heck, why not? So the other first issue I got is from AWA, Erratic, number 1. And this is kind of... I like the art in this. I do really like the art in this one, because it sort of reminded me of the art that we would have back in the 90s, where it was sort of a comic book realism, where, you know, the characters, they weren't cartoony, but they were clearly drawn as comic book characters, and I miss that. Too much of what we have today, they're trying to make everything too realistic. The whole point for me in comic books is to escape reality. So I don't want everything to be as realistically done as possible. So it has a feel sort of like a 90s, sort of like a Darkhawk type thing. What it is we find that there's people in this world who have superpowers. Our main character in this one here, Erratic, he has powers for 10 minutes. I guess it's 10 minutes a day, if I remember correctly. And he is trying to keep his powers on the down low. He doesn't want people to know, because apparently there's government agencies or groups of people who are trying to hunt down these people who have these powers and use them for nefarious means, probably to experiment on them, torture them, kill them, to try to get the powers for themselves. Who knows? We get just enough in this first issue to let us know what this world is, who the players are, give us a little bit of mystery so that we want to check out the next issue, and also show us that this kid is scared out of his mind. He wants to do the right thing. He wants to protect people. He wants to do the right thing, which is awesome, but he's afraid that if too many people find out about him and find out about his powers, that his family's going to be at risk and his life is going to be at risk. Unfortunately, he lives in the age of cell phones that have cameras and internet connectivity, and there's a girl on there who actually videos him doing what he wants to keep secret and decides to put it on the internet, because she's one of these people that, to her, it's more important to be internet famous than to be a decent human being. So hopefully things turn around for her, because she, at the beginning of the series, she does seem like, at the beginning of the issue rather, she seems like a pretty decent person. Hopefully her character progresses in a positive direction. But this was a really good read. This was a lot of fun. If you're looking for something that's just good, frivolous, comic book fun, this is definitely a book to check out. On the other end of that, and this is where I'm going to be in the minority. I know I've seen the videos and I've read the reviews online, but King in Black #1 to me was a colossal waste of time. This is a character that I've been so bored with this Null character for months now. I'm tired of hearing about him. I'm tired of Null is coming, Null is coming. Now Null is here, and he's basically, when we were kids and we would try to come up with the ultimate villain, he's the bad guy that we would come up with that you know, no matter what powers the hero has, the villain has the power to defeat it. And it's the best way to describe this issue is it was the overwhelming amount of power this character has makes him a very underwhelming character. I grabbed it for the cover. Peach Momoko, I love her art, but the book itself, I got to admit, I was not impressed. I have no interest in checking out what I don't care. I don't care what happens from here on in. I don't care about this character Null. I don't care that Cates has gone to great lengths to rewrite Marvel history and the symbiote history in order to make this character fit. I mean, I don't understand why people think he's a great character. He's an awesome character. I'm not discounting it. If you like the book, great, good for you. I mean, I'm happy for you that you enjoyed the book. Unfortunately, I did not. So I'm not going to be sticking with this. You're not going to hear any more about King in Black from me because, well, as much as I don't like being a Debbie Downer on this whole thing, I was unimpressed with it. I didn't like it. I didn't care for it. I read it. I bagged it, and I moved on. It was whatever. So those are some of the books that I picked up last week. I also grabbed DC's Dead Planet #6. It was a great read. Deceased is a great line of books. It's a lot of fun. So, I mean, it's going to be like Batman. There's really not much more I can say about it other than I really enjoy it. I'm having a great time with it. I love actually, here, check this out. Let's show this again. I have it right over here. The Mattina covers are awesome. I have, so far, all of the Mattina covers, and I absolutely love them. So, if you're looking for something different and violent and dark and just sort of the feel that we had when Marvel Zombies first started, like the first and second, maybe the third Marvel Zombie series, where it's just, you know, what the heck? What are we going to do? How are we going to survive this? Deceased is definitely something you want to check out. So, that aside, here's the stuff that I picked up this week. Starting with the trade. This came out a while ago, but I finally managed to get out of my pull box. Power Rangers Sins of the Future. This is Power Rangers Time Force, I think. I'm not at all familiar with Power Rangers Time Force, other than what I've seen of them in the Boom Mighty Morphin Power Rangers run. So, not familiar with them enough to really be excited about it, but it's a Power Rangers comic, and it's a good way for me to get to know who these characters are. So I'm definitely excited and eager to jump into that. This one was a freebie. This is the DC Nations. This is the DC Future State preview book. By and large, I do keep these preview books in my collections. Not so much for value. I know, like, there's that Marvel previews with Miles Morales in it that everybody is you know, spending all these hundreds of dollars. I think there's over $1,000 sale on that as a 9.8 because it's the first appearance or first cover appearance of Miles Morales. It's a preview book. Preview books do not count, and previews do not count as first appearances. That's my stand on it, and we're going to move on. I also grabbed the DC's Very Merry Multiverse one-shot. Only reason why I grabbed it is because it has Lobo in it. These other characters, yeah, whatever. Harley Quinn, there's Batman Beyond, there's Bizarro, there's Demon, and the Captain Karen, and a bunch of characters. I don't even know who these people are, but I only grabbed it for the Lobo story, so we'll see how that goes. Mighty Morphin #2. Seems like the Mighty Morphin and the Power Rangers, even though they split up the title, that each one is going to have connecting covers for the main cover, so that's going to be kind of fun. This one came out last week, and somehow I missed it. DC Classics, Batman Adventures #7. I don't recognize this cover at all, but I do have one of these books that came polybagged, and I never took it out of the polybag. So I'm wondering if the reason why I don't recognize this cover is because it's that one there that I left polybagged. And these ones came out a couple of weeks ago. They're just This one's an extra. The Something is Killing the Children local comic shop day variant, foil variant. Something is Killing the Children, so I wanted to have more than one copy of that one. And this is Something is Killing the Children number 12, but this is the sketch variant. I have a couple of these now, and I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do with them. I would like to maybe get a sketch on them, but I don't know who or what. You know, who to do a sketch on it or what to have them sketch on it. So we'll wait and see what happens with this. But I'm going to try, and as I said before, I'm trying to get all of the variant covers for the Something is Killing the Children series, because I'm looking online at some of these covers I've never seen before are some really freaking sweet covers. I love them. So that's it. That's what I got. So, you know, going back to King in Black, it's a personal opinion of mine. I'm not trying to be negative about it. It's just not something that's for me. I'm not interested in the character. I'm not interested in the story. Don't take it personal. We're not always going to agree on what books we like and what books we don't like. So if you like that series, great. I mean, if you want to talk about it, comment down in the comment section down below. Let me know what you liked about it. Maybe I'm reading it from the wrong perspective. You know, I'm more than willing to look at it from a different perspective, from somebody else's point of view, and you know, if that makes it click and I start liking it, all the better. You know, I got no problem with that. So that's it. I mean, if you've checked out any of these books, especially Erratic and what is the other one called? Knock 'em Dead. Let me know what you think about them. Can't believe I forgot that title already. But that's it. That's what I got. So thanks again for watching. Thanks again for your continued support and viewership and sharing the video and liking my videos. I greatly, greatly appreciate it. Thank you for subscribing and following me. Go ahead and as I always say, subscribe, like, follow, comment, share the videos. Let me know what you think. And we'll see you guys next week with hopefully with a nice size video, because you know, I really that Mighty Morphin number 2 was the only new book that I picked up this week. So hopefully next week I'll have a nice size stack of books that I can share with you guys. So other than that, everybody have a great weekend, and we will see you soon.